All right, guys, how's it going? We are back with another Netherlands reaction video. This one is another one by the channel, Not Just Bikes. I really like their stuff, guys. Amazing stuff. Go check out that channel. Show them some love. Subscribe to them. Anyways, this one is why Dutch bikes are better and why you should want one. I have seen bits and pieces of this video in another reactors videos. I just kind of skimmed through it because I didn't want to like watch the whole thing. That way I could still do this reaction for you guys as well. So um, let's get into it, guys. Let's check this out. Dutch bikes and why they're better and why you should want one. In the little bit I have seen, I do want one.
This is our Dutch bicycle. It's an Oma-fiets, literally grandma bicycle.
Yeah, that
there
is
is
cool.
really nothing special about it, at least here in the Netherlands.
Grandma's
But in
bike
Canada,
though, huh?
the US, or many other countries, this bike would be very unique indeed, and bicycles like this one really surprised me the first time I visited the Netherlands.
Turn this volume.
There's a good
There we
reason
go.
for this uniqueness.
All right, so it's a grandma's bike, guys. If you're not from the Netherlands, if you're an American viewer or somewhere else in Europe and you were not aware, they call it a grandma's bike.
In the Netherlands, bicycles are seen as a tool for everyday transportation.
Okay,
A way
yeah.
to get from point A to point B quickly and efficiently. In most other countries, bicycles are used primarily for sport and exercise. This one difference explains nearly everything special about a bike like this. Now, it's not like this is the only kind of bicycle you'll see in the Netherlands, of course. There are many others, including e-bikes, cargo bikes, hand cycles, and you'll definitely see road bikes used
Hand
for sport
cycles.
too, as cargo bikes, hand cycles.
Okay, so like, is that what we call a tricycle here, guys? That's what it looks like. It's like a tricycle.
And you'll definitely see road bikes used for sport too, especially on weekends. But for everyday urban transportation, this style of bicycle is by far the most common. So what makes this bicycle so different from what you might be used to? Well, the primary difference is that this is an upright bicycle. It's built to ride in an upright sitting position.
What do you mean?
This is an inefficient position that will not transmit maximum power into the crank during a pedal stroke, plus it's totally not aero. But who cares? What the upright position does provide is comfort. The handlebars on this bicycle are
Aren't they
high up
all
and swept back,
upright
making
position?
it extremely comfortable.
Aren't all bikes like, don't we all like sit upright on a bicycle?
To ride. On this kind of bicycle, you almost pull up and back on the handlebars rather than putting any weight on them.
Okay.
This is just a more comfortable way to sit on a bicycle, and the design is very similar to the original safety bicycle developed in the UK in the late 19th century. Sitting upright also makes it easier to see what's going on around you, which can be safer when cycling in busy urban environments with lots
Right,
of other people around.
And if that's your main use for the bicycle, then safety and just main utilitarian use would come first. So I do see that. Yeah, hell yeah.
Riding this way lets you wear any type of clothing you'd like because it's no different than sitting in a chair, which is why you see most people in the Netherlands dressed for the destination and
the
not
seats,
the ride.
the seat's a lot different than
This
a chair.
bicycle has a step-through frame, meaning that you can get on and off it very
Girls' bike. That's what we call them here in America. And if you look here, the guys' bikes would be, oh, wow, that's really angled. I wonder if that's one of the differences. Like, that's really angled down. I bet that's what he's talking about, where you're kind of like leaning back instead of pushing forward. But anyways, our bikes would go across here for the guys' bikes, and then the girls' bikes is angled like that.
very easily without having to swing your leg around like you do on a bike like this with a
Yeah,
crossbar.
like that.
These frames are fine and you'll definitely see them here, but I find them particularly annoying if you have
You got a little
kid seat,
fox toy.
because if you swing your leg up to get on, you kick your kid in the head.
Oh, that's not good, guys. Oh, and he uses the Grand Theft Auto wasted.
And I don't understand why we
Nice.
still call these men's bikes when it's the only kind you can hit your nuts on.
You know, that is very true. I've actually often thought of that. Honestly, I think what it is because it makes it stronger and sturdier, and men are more like, aggressive with their bikes. At least over here, maybe not over there. You guys are using them for like actual travel, but here in the United States, like little kids and stuff like that, be jumping bikes off their ramps and stuff like that. So it just makes it more sturdy, so it doesn't twist up as easily. But it definitely does make it very inconvenient for a guy.
Because step-through frames are more comfortable to use, they're increasingly popular for both men and women. This is another thing that contributes to people wearing normal clothes when cycling, and why you'll even see women wearing dresses and skirts. Speaking of skirts, this thing is called a skirt guard.
Okay, yeah. Well, the last bike didn't have that. That girl's sitting there. None of those do, actually.
Skirts. Speaking of skirts,
Yeah, I did
this
see this
thing
part.
is called a skirt guard or
And that
coat
lock-in
guard, and it's
mechanism.
quite common on Dutch bicycles. It prevents long articles of clothing from getting stuck in the spokes as you ride. It also helps prevent a child sitting on the back from getting their foot stuck. Another thing to protect your clothing is the chain guard, a plastic or metal cover over the bicycle chain.
Kids' bikes
It
have
also
that
helps to
here.
protect the chain from the elements, making it last longer. This thing here is called a frame lock, and almost every bicycle in the Netherlands has one.
Yeah, I seen that when I did skim through this before. This is really cool, and I don't understand why that's not a thing here, because like here you have to actually like go buy like a separate like bike lock or something. If well, then again, could you just pick the you could just pick this bike up and carry it away though. So I guess it would. I mean, I guess it makes it where you just can't drive off on it. But so if you see somebody carrying their bike, then they probably stole it. There's a indicator. But yeah, that's interesting that they don't have these features here.
These are incredibly convenient for so many reasons, but I've almost never seen them outside of the Netherlands, Denmark, and Japan. They are an easy way to lock the back wheel of
Okay,
your
so
bicycle
Denmark
for
and
quick
Japan
stops, which
has
makes
them
it
too.
really, really easy to pop into a shop when riding somewhere. The frame lock also keeps your key inside as you ride. You can actually buy frame locks that don't do this, but I really like the key retaining feature. This is a small detail, but it ensures that your bike keys are
Okay, so when you lock it, then the key releases. That's kind of cool.
always with you. That being said, I have been known to accidentally hit the key with my leg and bend it like this.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. That would
Also,
suck.
while there's a lot of space for the locking mechanism in the wheel, I seem to hit the spoke far more often than you'd think. I should have gone into neutrino research.
Just still, come on, man. You're being picky now.
When this lock is engaged, you can't ride the bicycle, but you can, of course, just pick it up and
yeah.
walk away with it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So if you want to ensure that your bike is still there when you return, it's best to bring a chain lock with you as well, and most people do. If you see bikes locked only like this, it's probably because the owner considers their bike too crappy to steal. A
That's
slight
like when,
variation on
that's like when we leave the cars in the vehicle at the grocery store here. Ain't nobody gonna steal it anyways. You know, if you got a nice car, you don't do that. You lock it up and you take the keys with you. That's funny.
owner considers their bike too crappy to steal. A slight variation on this is a frame lock with a chain lock integrated, giving you two
Ooh.
locks with one key.
Nice.
Interestingly, U-locks, by far the most common locks in North America, are not seen very often in the Netherlands. Probably because it's difficult to get close enough to something to lock to with so many other bicycles around. Another feature you'll see on almost every bicycle in the Netherlands is both front and rear fenders.
Nice.
This makes sense in a country where it rains all the time.
So just random thought in my head. I do have a PO box set up, guys. I know there was a ton of you in the comment section requesting me to get a PO box, wanting to send me some treats and different things like that from the Netherlands so I can try it out. So if you do want to do that, I do have a link in the description, or not a link, but I have my PO box listed down there if you want to send me some stuff over for me to do some live like unboxing type videos and stuff. So back to the video. Just like I said, random thought.
Is both front and rear fenders. This makes sense in a country where it rains all the time. Fenders are not considered an optional add-on here.
Yeah.
What's
Keep
also
that water
included
off you.
is a kickstand. Almost every bike comes with one.
Wow, that's
Over-
really like that's a weird angle. It seems
Kickstand.
wow, it looks like barely move it and it would just flip. That's strange.
Almost every bike comes with one. Over the fender, you'll usually find a rear rack, though some bikes have a rack on the front.
Oh, that's a cool looking bike.
Ultimately, these bicycles are meant to be useful, so having panniers at the back or a box on the front allows people to carry a surprisingly large amount of
Panniers.
stuff. No SUV required. Rear racks in the Netherlands are also built strong enough to carry another person, which you
Nice.
see quite regularly. But then everything on a Dutch bicycle is heavy duty. These aren't aluminium or carbon fiber frames, they're made of solid steel.
I want one of these
These
bikes.
bikes are not built for speed, they're built to last.
Send me a bike. If you don't want to send me some snacks, send me a bike from the Netherlands. That would be amazing. That would be cool. I could do like a whole video, like testing the bike out, riding it through town or something. That'd be pretty cool. Like, I really want one of these bikes.
In general, Dutch bicycles are built to be low maintenance. So when a bicycle has gears, they're often internal hub gears like this one.
Yeah, you don't have
In-hub
hills
gearing is
there.
great because they almost never need maintenance.
You don't need
This
gears
is very
for that.
different from derailleurs, which I find are constantly going out of alignment.
Oh yeah, they suck.
Of course, many bicycles, including this one of ours, don't have any gears at all. You might also notice that this particular bike doesn't have any handbrakes either. A lot of bikes here do have handbrakes, but this one uses coaster brakes that you engage by cycling backwards. This was
Okay,
fascinating.
like a kid's bike here. That's how the brakes are here. You just go backwards. Make some really cool skid marks that way.
This one uses coaster brakes that you engage by cycling backwards.
Yeah.
This was fascinating to me because in Canada, you will never see brakes like this except on children's bikes.
Yeah. Same with America.
They take
or
some
United
getting used
States.
to, but I really prefer cycling like this, as it feels so natural to pedal forward to speed up and pedal backwards to brake.
Okay, I was just wondering about that. So you don't have to keep pedaling then, so you can just keep it still.
By not having any handbrakes or gears, it keeps the bike simple and maintenance-free. It also avoids any cables that might accidentally get stuck on other bicycles when parking in tight places.
Yeah.
All of this is done to keep the bicycle in good working condition, which is important when it's your primary mode of transportation.
Makes a lot
The
of sense.
only problem we've ever had with this bicycle is the occasional flat tire. And speaking of tires, did you know they use a different tire valve here?
What?
In the US and Canada, there are only ever two tire valves. Presta, found on road bikes, and Schrader, found on everything else.
I wonder if I
Here in the
did get one of those bikes. I'm sure I could find an adapter or something, right? Or just switch out the valve if I had to. I wouldn't want to do that though. I'd want to keep it original though. That'd be something I have to check into.
tire valves. Presta, found on road bikes, and Schrader, found on everything else. Here in the Netherlands, they use a Blitz valve. These valves have a little ball that prevents air from getting out. They're really easy to work with.
Okay.
In case you're curious, you can just use a regular Presta pump to fill these. Just pump it up to a high enough pressure and the valve will open automatically.
Oh, okay. So I can still.
Another thing you'll
Okay,
sometimes
cool.
see on bicycles here is a dynamo. These go in the wheel hub or on the wheel and generate enough electricity to power LED lights.
Oh, nice.
These are pretty nice as you never need to worry about recharging batteries or forgetting your lights. Just another small thing that makes these bicycles
I
simple
like that
for
orange
everyday
one
use.
with the blue tires.
And lastly, the bell on this bike makes a pleasant sound. Though
like
you
a-
hardly ever
Like a doorbell?
the bell on this bike makes a pleasant sound.
What?
Though you hardly
I've
ever need to use
never
a bell here.
heard a
so
bike
it
bell
doesn't
like that. Wow.
When we were still living in Canada, we knew about upright Dutch-style bikes and tried for years to buy one, but they were almost impossible to find. This photo sums up the situation in Canada, a selection of bicycles supposedly for commuting with nothing but sporty hybrids and road bikes.
Just like
They don't
America.
even come with a rack,
USA
fenders,
over
or
here.
kickstand. Maybe there are more bike shops with upright bicycles today, but when we lived in Toronto, there was only one shop that sold them, and the next closest was over 50 kilometers away. Here in Amsterdam, I can't swing a pair of clogs without hitting a dozen bicycle shops that sell functional, practical bicycles.
Clogs.
Bicycles that are designed for transportation, not sport.
It'd be cool to have
One
some
group
clogs too.
in Winnipeg, Canada, got so frustrated trying to find practical urban bicycles that they started importing new and used bicycles from the Netherlands. They call themselves the Plain Bicycle Project, and they're regularly receiving shipping containers full of bicycles from the
Nice.
Netherlands. So to my Dutch viewers, when you're finished with your bike, please consider donating it to needy families in Canada.
Donate one to me, guys. That would be really cool to have
It's so
one.
great to have bicycles that aren't for sport.
That would be super
Bicycles
cool.
whose primary function is to be there when you need it, to carry your shopping or your friend, and to be used with as little effort as possible.
There's that orange one again.
No special
There's got to be somebody he knows. That's the third time I've seen it in here. Watch, it'll go by in just a second. It's orange. It's got a blue front tire and a black one.
bicycles whose primary
back.
function is to be there when you need it, to carry your shopping or your friend,
Right.
and to be used
Yep, right there. Yeah, so that's clearly his people. And this is a staged ride by.
with as little effort as possible. No special gear or costume changes required. This is a point that's often overlooked because while it's obviously important to have safe streets and cycling infrastructure, it also makes a difference to have easy access to practical, low-maintenance bicycles like this one.
Yeah.
Living in Amsterdam, I know that when I need to go somewhere, taking a bicycle will usually be the fastest and most convenient way to get there. But it's also important to know that I won't have any problems either, because of our old, clunky, rusty, beat-up, comfortable, reliable Omafeets.
Omofis? Is that what he said? Let me try that again.
Reliable Omafeets.
Omofis. Okay.
I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon who pay me to talk about just bikes on Not
Yeah.
Just Bikes.
Well, there you
If
guys
you'd like to
have
support
it.
the channel and get
That
access to
was
bonus videos,
awesome.
visit patreon.com/notjustbikes.
I've been enjoying these Netherlands reaction videos, guys. So I was just trying to let this video play out. I don't want to cut it short. Let's see what he's doing here. Where's he going? Where's he going? He's just riding down the road. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get up out of here. That's it. So you guys take care. I'll see you in the next one. All right, later, guys.